different applications, we like to start the class with saying, okay, phylum Porifera. What is significant about it? What are some characteristics that we have been discussing that places that sponge in that phylum of Porifera? That's true, but yeah, and that would be fine. I would take that. Okay, that's how the phylum Porifera gets its name. It has pores all throughout its body. Okay, man, you're getting the hard ones out of the way. They're sessile. That is a very big one, because what does that mean? They do not move, and that leads up to your lack of muscular system and nervous system. And yes, they do have pores, because that leads to a central chamber, and because they're filter feeders and out the top. You only saw the term for maybe a couple of minutes yesterday. Starts with that letter. Oh, you're saying it. That's on the sides. That's true. That leads to their filter feeding, but out the top, though, you've got the S. You're really close. Say that again. The osculum. That's right. Okay. So to mix some of this content up, one of the things that you would see is evolution of sight. Okay. Obviously, these animals don't have sight because there's no reason to. Why don't they have sight? Because they don't move. Okay. With that, when we get into the cnidarians, it's hard to visualize, but jellyfish are a type of cnidarian. They move. So since they move, they actually, see, it's something you wouldn't visualize. Come on, jellyfish, but yeah, they're looking down. They're not looking where they're moving, they're looking down. Why might that be? Because what's below the jellyfish? Say that again. Tentacles. Because when Marlin and Dory are playing their game, trying to, what was that? Oh, I gotta tell them, swim through the tunnel, not over the top. Does that sound right? Okay. So then all of a sudden they get to the edge of that underwater cliff, and all of a sudden here come all these jellyfish. Of course, then Marlin's saying, don't touch the top of them because then, oh, you won't get stung on the top. So if you're underneath them, that's when you have the problem. So that's why these animals look down. They're more so concerned about grabbing the prey item than what they are on what actually. So you can actually visualize on what type of predator is this, or what type of animal this would be in the animal kingdom just by looking at the placement of its eyes. Okay, so whether you picture us as hunter-gatherers or not, why is it important that we have this type, which is called what? Because we look out in that direction. True. But for some of you deer hunters, maybe. What are these? Binoculars. So what would an advantage of binocular vision be? You can visualize your field of view. They overlap a little bit, which gives you this. Oh, Tori is about 15 to 16 feet away from it. Okay? Because you can see in 3 dimensions, which means that's what type of perception? Depth perception. That's right. So animals that have eyes on their sides, okay, they're probably more so prey items because they're not so concerned about what's in front of them. They're more concerned with all around them. So they have a wider range of view. There's actually some types of species of birds. I believe, I don't know if there's any mammals that can see 360 degrees. I think maybe there's some rabbits that are possibly pretty close. But you can tell what type of predator it is just by looking, or what type of animal it is in the food chain by just looking at its eyes. Okay. So we mix parts of this evolution together with chapter 5, that being the peripherence. Just because this content, yeah, I understand it's pretty basic and it's kind of boring. I would agree. There's one more. This. Okay.
Were larger and more mobile than any of their predecessors. And what's more, they evolved weapons for battle.
An important aspect of the Cambrian explosion is that it is an evolutionary arms race.
For the first time, creatures evolved the natural weapons they still use on today's battlefields. Jaws, claws, body armor, and most critical of all,
Eyes appear. They're obvious, they're there, and there's no evidence for complex eyes before this Cambrian explosion.
these eyes are the first type to appear in the fossil record. Compound eyes. The invention of a group of arthropods called trilobites.
Arthropods are joint-limbed animals that today include things like crustaceans, insects, spiders, and so on. The compound eye is a type of eye possessed by these arthropods.
On closer look, it's clear that these eyes are nothing like our own.
So you can see these two round structures on the head, and when you look at them in detail, you can see small circular bodies in a series of rows. Each row has several of these circles, and when you look at them, you can recognize that these are eyes with many lenses.
Trilobite eyes are one of the earliest results of the animal kingdom's most feverish arms race. Coincidence? Or was the evolution of more powerful eyes the spark that triggered the Cambrian explosion?
Eyesight is part and parcel with predation and things avoiding predators. So if there were not the development of eyes, you might have had some of the sparks of the Cambrian explosion, but I don't think you would have had the full bang.
Just how did the trilobite manufacture an eye of such complexity? They took advantage of the materials at hand. Their eyes are made of rock.
This rock is calcite, and in fact, it's the same rock or mineral that makes up the trilobite eye.
Trilobites secreted this mineral from their skin to form both their rigid shells and equally rigid eyes.
If that's what their skeleton was made of, they had to evolve an eye out of this substance. So it means we've got a beautiful record of what their eyes look like. Without calcite, trilobites would be not only naked, but blind.
These crystal eyes represented a major advance from the simpler light-sensing cells that came before, and likely gave trilobites a supreme survival advantage.
The eye present before the Cambrian explosion would have been nowhere near as complex as the type of eye that you see in the trilobites. The compound eye would have allowed them to better track down prey or find dead carcasses and things to eat.
True visionaries, trilobites diversified and endured for nearly 300 million years before a mass extinction event wipes out the last of their species. but other arthropods survive. And one group takes the compound eye to new heights. Insects.
We look at the most abundant animal life form on land, it's the insects. There are literally more than 1 million species of insects that are present. They all have a complex compound eye.
The first insects evolved around 400 million years ago. While they share a common ancestor with trilobites, they are not their direct descendants. Studies show they evolved their compound eyes independently, but from the same genetic blueprint. An array of microscopic lenses that work together to form an image. The greater the number, the finer the detail. Fruit flies have hundreds of lenses per eye. Bees boast an astonishing 7,000 lenses. But evolution drove one insect to develop a compound eye of staggering complexity, the dragonfly. Each eye has a mind-boggling 29,000 lenses, making for the ultimate motion detector. In pursuit of fast-moving prey, dragonflies give chase at a staggering 38 miles per hour. Their eyes' focusing power is poor, but their processing speed is spectacular, resolving images 5 times faster than our own. The result? Lightning reflexes, ideal for timing strikes and avoiding high-speed collisions. The success of insects has made the compound eye the most prevalent in all of nature. But it would not be the only vision system to emerge from the Cambrian explosion. Another group of animals evolved, one that would launch the prototype for an advanced eye of their own. The vertebrates.
The eyes of insects and the eyes of vertebrates represent different instances of the origin of eyes. They've evolved from different ancestors to achieve the same end.
The vertebrate eye gets its start as a simple light detector. Over time, it will evolve and become the targeting system for history's largest predators. We find that many of them look back with an eye akin to our own. In fact, one type of eye powers the vision of all vertebrates, animals with a backbone. A single-lens camera made of soft tissue, known as the vertebrate eye. The vertebrate line includes reptiles, mammals, and birds. And they all have a common ancestor. A pruny, worm-like animal that lived during the time of the Cambrian explosion. How this creature's crude eyes developed into the intricate organs we see with today has fascinated scientists since Darwin.
The vertebrate eye is really an icon of evolution. Early detractors of Darwin used it as an example of a feature that is so unbelievably complicated and it's so obviously a machine and there's so obviously the mark of an intelligent designer there. Darwin's famous response was to go through a series of intermediate evolutionary steps and show how you could start with a cluster of photosensitive cells on the surface of the skin. From there, you can create a pit eye, which essentially putting those photosensitive cells at the bottom of the pit creates the first directional sensitivity. And from there, you can evolve other sorts of focusing or accommodating parts of the eye. And essentially show that it was plausible that you could have a whole series of steps that lead up to a complex camera eye.
This new eye would sweep through the ocean, providing an advanced weapon in the escalating battle between predators and their prey. The genes for building the eye were passed down to all the branches of the vertebrate tree, from the first fish to sharks, and on to shallow water swimmers who would boldly set their sights on an unexploited world. Land. A new arena that one group of predators would come to dominate. These creatures, carnivorous dinosaurs, first evolved 230 million years ago. For the next 160 million years, in the early animal kingdom, littering the fossil record with the bones of their vanquished prey, what was it that made carnivorous dinosaurs such successful predators? Was it their size, their speed, their array of vicious weapons? Such traits are the stuff of any predator, but they're useless without another key skill, the ability to target prey. Carnivorous dinosaurs surely possess some of the largest eyes in history. But how might their vision have helped them become such extraordinary predators? Paleontologist Ian Stevens made it his mission to find out.
Very interesting to know what it was like to be a dinosaur. What kind of vision did it have? How did it use its eyes?
Stevens faced a major obstacle. Unlike their bones, the eyes of dinosaurs have not stood the test of time.
It's essential to fill in missing pieces because the soft tissue of the eyeball, of course, never is preserved. What you mostly have is just the bones.
Stevens used the bones to make scale models of dinosaur heads. These models would serve as a window into dinosaur vision.
What I came up with is a way to estimate how well the dinosaur could look out into the world by my looking at the animal.
Stevens devised a novel way to make his dinosaurs see. Lasers. The beam lit up the eye, allowing Stevens to plot its line of sight. When the illuminated eye became obscured by the creature's brow or snout, Stevens had reached the limit of what that eye could see.
I decided I will trace those lines of sight on an intervening glass between me and the animal, where if I couldn't see it, it couldn't see me.
By mapping the lines of sight of both eyes, Stevens could calculate their degree of overlap.
When I had these dots now, if I connect them, this actually represents the region which both eyes can see.
The area where Stevens' markings overlap is known as the binocular field of vision. What advantage does binocular vision provide?
Binocular vision, seeing something with two eyes, is very good for making fine depth judgments. If you have two eyes and you can simultaneously focus on an object in space in front of you, your brain can do a little bit of trig and decide exactly how far away that object is.
How would this aid a predator? Imagine a large dinosaur whose two eyes face to the side, resulting in two fields of view that don't overlap. This makes it difficult for the creature to see an object as distinct from its background and to gauge the distance to it. But if its eyes face more forward, their fields overlap, providing a degree of binocular vision. Suddenly, it's a 3D world. Engaging distance to a target is no longer a problem. Stevens knew if he could work out the binocular vision of carnivorous dinosaurs, he could determine how they hunted their prey. He trained his sights on the most iconic member of the group, Tyrannosaurus rex. With 13-inch canines, this 6-ton beast was certainly armed to the teeth, but the T-Rex had the targeting system to back up its bite.
T-Rex has 55 degrees, which is very substantial binocular overlap, as much as hogs.
Stevens concluded that this vision system allowed T-Rex to target its prey at a distance and pursue it on the run.
That certainly would have selective advantage towards being a better predator. You could just stay locked onto your target, and the amount of overlap could allow you to see how the world is moving as you move forward.
3D vision was a vital part of T-Rex's arsenal, and looking at skulls from different points in the animal's history, Stevens found it evolved even better 3D vision over time. Its snout narrowed and its cheeks hollowed out to allow for increasingly forward-facing eyes.
These animals reshaped their heads evolutionarily for a purpose. Steady progression toward more binocular vision, so it must have been of advantage to the animal.
With forward-facing 4-inch diameter eyes, T-Rex's vision likely ranked among the most detailed in the animal kingdom. But as Stevens discovered, not all carnivorous dinosaurs could hope to follow T-Rex's lead.
This is Allosaurus. He was the top predator in the late Jurassic. This animal has very lateral-facing eyes. And not only that, but there's a whole structure here along the top of the snout of this animal, which completely obliterates the view from the left eye to the animal's right and vice versa. This animal has essentially blinders on it that keep it from being able to have a very wide field of view. Allosaurus turns out to have about 20 degrees of binocular overlap.
How could a dinosaur saddled with blinders be a top dog of the Jurassic? It turns out less binocular vision led Allosaurus to assume a craftier mode of predation.
Modern predators that have so little overlap between the two eyes, you tend to find that they are ambush predators, like a modern crocodile. One of the important aspects of an ambush predator is to be able to have surveillance and awareness of what's going on around it. So the idea of lateral-facing eyes is completely consistent with an ambush predator. They basically wait until the meal comes to them. They have a task of judging whether the time is right to lunge and try to take out the prey.
Dinosaurs show how the same winning strategy evolves again and again in predator vision. The opposite strategy holds true for prey animals. Their vision has evolved to help them escape their killers. As predators evolved eyes closer and closer together for targeting, the eyes of their prey moved further and further apart. Today, rabbits take this strategy to the extreme. 360-degree vision. Rabbit eyes evolved to sit high to the sides of its skull. While its vision is not three-dimensional, it allows the rabbit to see any threat at any angle. Rabbits, like humans, are mammals. And back when dinosaurs still ruled the earth, our mammal ancestors had to do much more than keep an eye out. To survive, they had to find a new niche in vision, one that would allow them to coexist with creatures threatening their existence.
What's up there for today? And we'll pick up with this on Monday.